Hi, I'm just dropping in to tell you what my upcoming week in my world of sewing is going to be all about, following on from my first vlog that I released last week. So started to keep a little note actually of the different things that I want to cover off in my vlog each week. So today I'm going to do a bit of an update on last week's projects. The first one being the All Achille dress, which I'll talk you through in a minute. I'm going to give you a bit of an update on my sew-along plans as well and what I've been doing this week to prepare for those. I am going to do a brief insight as to what my next sewing project is going to be, which I'm going to make a start on this week because I've got a day off from work on Tuesday, so I'm going to start that. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Instagram campaign that's running at the moment, so Photo Hop, which I've been taking part in. Okay, so let's start with last week's projects then. So what I said last week is I was really keen to finish my All Achille dress. For anybody who didn't see the blog last week, I have used the amazing Wear Lemonade Frida dress pattern to make this. But I've actually made it out of an All Achille duvet cover, a bed set. The fabric is actually great for this dress because this is the third version of this dress that I've made. The first one is, if you are on my YouTube channel, the little icon that you can see with a picture of me wearing a dress. That was the first version of this dress that I made, and that was made using quilting weight cotton. And that worked out great. The second version that I made was made from Liberty of London Tarn Lawn, which is a beautiful dress. It's so comfortable to wear, but the only thing that I find in that lighter weight version is the boat neck kind of gathers or drapes a little bit on the lighter version, whereas what I've found using this All Achille bed set is the cotton is really crisp, so it sits really well on the neckline and I don't get any of that draping at all. I was really pleased with how this turned out, and I actually wore it on a night out on Friday night, and I had loads of compliments, loads of people asking me where I got the dress from, and I really loved the response of, well, actually I made it from a bed set. People were really surprised. So I do hope you like how that has turned out. I will try and add some photos of it being worn at the end of this video. I am still getting my head around how to use iMovie and editing and all that malarkey. So if they're not there, it's because I've not been able to work it out, but you'll be able to see them on my Instagram or on my blog post anyway. Something else that I actually got through in the post this week, quite ironically, is my monthly Wear Lemonade newsletter. And this one, they do like a Pimp My Pattern newsletter, and this one was for the Frida dress. So what this includes is a slight adaptation where you turn it into a top, and I really like the look of that, so I think I'm going to give that a go. The other version is like a maxi skirt length. Now, maxi dresses aren't really my thing because I'm a bit of a short arse, so being only 5'3", I do tend to get a bit swamped in maxi dresses. So I don't think I'll be making that version, but the top, I'll definitely give it a go. And this also, you can see the neckline, if you can see. I'm not sure how zoomed in the camera is, but the neckline on this one is a little bit drapey, so I'm not too concerned now when I wear my Liberty of London version about having a bit of a drape, because I think that is the style of the dress. Okay, so do check this out, as I say, on my Instagram and on my blog post if I've not been able to add photos to the end of the video. But I'd strongly recommend giving this pattern a go. It is really simple. There's no closures or anything like that to sew. It's a real good dress if you're thinking of making your first dress. So that's the first thing. My next sewing project then that I'm going to work on this week is another Wear Lemonade pattern. You can probably tell I really do like Wear Lemonade stuff. And this is the Simona blouse. So it's a blouse that's got buttons, it's got cuffs, it's got a collar, and it's got a tie, a bit like the blouse that I'm wearing today. I really like that style of blouse, especially as autumn's coming up, and I love wearing the Tilly and the Buttons Clio dresses like what I'm wearing today, and I don't have many blouses to go underneath, so I'm looking to sew a few of those up. So that's the next project that I'm going to start. The fabric that I'm going to use for it is some Liberty of London Tarna Lawn. Love the colour of this. It's a bit mustardy, but it's quite retro as well with the pattern that it's got on. I do think it'll be good for that blouse because Tarna Lawn is really soft, it is really drapey, but it's also really comfortable to wear too. So I think that'll be perfect. So I'll keep you posted with how I'm getting on that. I'm not going to say I'll have it finished by next week's vlog because I don't think I will, but I'll certainly be able to update you with where I'm up to. Okay, a bit of an update on my planned sew-alongs then. At the moment I'm filming some simple lessons like the quilting one I talked about last week, and I'm going to do a bunting when I filmed that. I'm just in the editing process. Starting off with some basic ones because, as I said earlier, I'm getting my head around how to do the video editing and stuff like that, and it's easier on a small project. But more longer term, what I plan on doing is adding some sewing lessons and some sew-alongs. So this week I've started to contact some of my favourite pattern makers just to check that it's okay to use their patterns in the lessons. And so far I've heard back from Tilly and the Buttons, and I've heard back from Colette and Seamwork, and they've all said yeah, absolutely fine to use the patterns in sew-alongs. Of course I wouldn't be able to provide a copy of the pattern because it's for individual personal use, but what I will do is provide all the links and things to the website, so if you did want to join in on any of the sew-alongs, or you wanted a bit of help or a bit of guidance on sewing your pattern, then you can follow me, but of course you'd need to buy your own copy of the pattern. So I'm really excited about that. That is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but I needed to start to buy my video equipment, which I've now started to do. So I really look forward to that. So the next thing that I want to touch on is the Instagram campaign, which is run by House of Penheira. Great account, definitely check that out. And it's So Photo Hop. So it's running all the way through September, and there's daily prompts. So you share a photograph which is in line with what the daily prompt is. I'm going to be releasing this video where the prompt is why I sew. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of an insight as to why I do sew. So I've been sewing for about 5 years. Before I could sew, I was never the type to follow the high street trends. I've never really been one for following whatever fashion's in the season. I like to wear what I want to wear, when I want to wear it. So before I could sew, I used to get the majority of my clothes from charity shops or from vintage shops, just because I just like to be a little bit unique. I then decided to learn how to sew, and what I really enjoy about it is the creativity. So being able to picture something, so like the piece of fabric that I just showed you, I love going through that process in my mind of, there's a piece of fabric that I love, which type of fashion is that going to suit, what's going to work well. Some of that has been trial and error along the way, so many a times I've made a garment out of fabric which just wasn't suitable, and sometimes you do need to do that, you do need to make some mistakes, so you're learning all the time. So I love that creative process of seeing a piece of fabric, picturing in my mind what I want to turn it into, finding a pattern which matches what I've got in mind, and then sewing it together. And I think fashion, creating your own fashion, it's just a great way of sharing what you've created, because it's something that you're going to be wearing every day, and people ask you, you know, where you've got your clothing from, and then when you tell them you've made it yourself, it starts a conversation and hopefully inspires other people to learn how to sew as well. So that is what I really love about sewing. I do wish, if I'm being absolutely honest, that I could pack in the day job and go to uni and learn how to do everything properly. So what I mean by that is how to actually design my own garments and make my own patterns rather than having to use other people's patterns. That is something that I am learning kind of offline with different tools and things, is how to draft some of my own patterns, but I'm only at the very, very, very basic stage of that. But the good news is my daughter is starting university and she does want to go into fashion design. So I'm hoping that once she starts her uni course, she can share all her learning with me and I can look at doing it that way. So thanks for joining me on my second vlog. Do check out the Wear Lemonade dress in the All Achille fabric. I hope it's inspired you to give this dress a go, because it really is fantastic. And I look forward to sharing with you how I'm getting on with my blouse, and I'll speak to you next week. Okay, thanks. Bye.